Sup, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a jewelry review of Anuel Doble A. Well, now he's only Anuel because he took away his double A's, but Real hasta la muerte, Bobby. Alright, my boy's Versace drip, first and foremost. So he's got an AP watch on, diamond Cuban, and those new diamond bracelets, which are like squared out. And he's got it looks like it's a tennis chain, a small tennis chain with a pendant, but you can't really see it. Let's start with the AP. That Royal Oak, it's not a Royal Oak offshore. It doesn't look like it, at least. It's close to like, it looks like it's rose gold, so those are close to like 100. That diamond Cuban is close to probably 300 grams. So 300 grams is like 21 millimeter, 22 millimeter, 22 millimeter, about $12,000 more or less, 12,000 just in gold. Let's say he's got good stones, probably VS stones. He probably has 3 rows on each thing. He's probably looking at about like 25 carats, so about 25,000 plus 12,000, 12 plus 25, 37,000. And the bracelet, so 100 plus 37, that's 137. Plus the chain and the pendant, you could say it was another 10 or 15, because they're small. The pendant's custom, obviously. And the pendant was probably 10, probably 20 in the chain, so $150. And the bracelet, those depend a lot on how wide it is, how many stones it has, since they're baguettes and stuff. But a lot of that jewelry comes from India and China, so it's a little bit more affordable. Most of it isn't made here. So that bracelet you could estimate anywhere from 10 to 15, depending on how big it is. The ring, I can't tell what it is. It may be a cluster ring, it may be a solitaire. I have no clue. But this drip right here, it's a little swaggy drip, you know what I mean? My boy swagged out. He's in the pool. That's just your pool drip. That's when you know you got money. All right, here he's with his wife or his girlfriend at this current time. Maybe it changes. All right, so let's start with the earrings. His earrings are probably about $1,000, little diamond earrings. Huggies, those are called more like Huggies. Little hoop earrings, about $1,000 with diamonds on and whatnot. Evil Eye on a small little chain. I can't tell if they're really small tennis chains or just a small like Rolo link or whatnot. That Evil Eye is diamonds. He's Anuel, so he goes there. Probably $1,500, $2,000 for the Evil Eye. I mean, if we were to be selling the Evil Eye, probably like $750, $1,000. But he goes there anywhere probably like $1,500, $2,000. He's got another pendant on you can't see. All right, he's got his Michael Jordan, or I think it's Kobe. His Kobe holding the trophy ring. He's got that with, oh, this bracelet's two-tone. The bracelet in the first image, I think, is two-tone, white and rose gold. That's what it looks to me right here. And that one was like around 37,000 more or less. So about 40, 37, 40. That custom ring with the enamel was probably around 15, anywhere from 10 to 20, but probably 15,000, just because I'm gonna go more towards the 20,000 range, just to be safe, because it's like a Super Bowl ring, and Super Bowl rings ain't cheap. So that's like fully custom, enamel, diamonds, everything, probably 15 to 20,000 more or less. What do we got? 40 plus 20, 60 plus 20, 80 for that other bracelet that we already saw. And then 82,000, but now here comes the heavy stuff. He's got his Richard Mille, I think this is an RM11. RM11, I think those are going right now for like 400,000, 450,000, depending. That's it. Well, that's an RM11 with diamonds. I don't know the price on that one right now, actually. I could look it up, but I'm gonna go off the top of my head with diamonds and RM11. Probably right now in the 650 range, 650,000. So, and then those rings, I don't think those rings were custom. Those rings he just must have went to a jeweler. Maybe a jeweler gave them to him, because they're not like crazy outlandish. They're actually probably the wackiest thing that he has on right now. So those rings are probably 10K a piece. 10, yeah. All right, so we can go to his girlfriend. His girlfriend has some body jewelry, probably like $3,000 to $4,000 for that stuff if it's all diamonds. and $3,000-4,000 for that tennis bracelet. Tennis chains and tennis bracelets are really expensive. When it comes to rings, why rings are less expensive? Because they do take a lot of work to make them, but you gotta imagine the amount of carats that are in a ring is much less than a chain, a bracelet, anything like that. So yeah. So we can do her Yaylene's jewelry. She right here, that bracelet, her bracelet's probably, depending on how good of quality it is, because a lot of times you can get them hollowed out inside, and like that size hollowed out inside with the baguettes running through them, you could pick them up in like the $1,500 range. So that's not a big deal. And the jewelry sense of things, because everything jewelry is expensive, like compared to other things. And her rings are probably anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 each. Now I give you estimates because there's a lot of variables that go into jewelry itself. Jewelry itself has a lot of variables just on like quality of stones, how heavy the piece is, how well manufactured the piece is. The better a piece is manufactured, the more labor cost it's going to incur, so it's going to be more expensive. The better quality stones it is, the more it's going to be. A lot of times, a lot of people say they're VS stones, but they're not. They're just good SI quality, and they get by. I mean, you'll never know the difference. So yeah, that's why I say it's an estimate. I give you a range, because also, if he just goes in there and he says, whatever, I don't care about the price, they're going to hit him with a huge sticker price, and he's not going to care because he's got a bunch of money. I mean, he doesn't have like Floyd Mayweather money, or I don't think he has Steve Waldua money, but he definitely has good amount of money because he tours and he releases albums. So yeah. All right, so here he's got that same bracelet on, about $37,000, and then the low diamond bracelet and the same rings, about $10K a piece. He repeats some of his stuff, but he's got that iced out chain out. That iced out chain, that one's probably running him. It's a shorter chain, it's a choker, but it has a big clasp. With that clasp, doesn't really matter. That chain is running him, depending on the quality of stones, it looks like it's a 18 millimeter, 16 millimeter, around there. His bracelet's much bigger. At least in the picture, that's what it seems like. 16, 17 millimeter, probably in the range of 50 to 75,000. And the chain alone, that size, what is it? 450, 500, let's say it's like 400 grams, 400 by 4, well, that's in 10 carat. I give you the 10 carat prices. If we do 400 by 5, 5 times 4 is 9, about 10,000, right? I think 10,000, and you got the stones. So yeah, about 40 carats in that, so about $40,000 in the chain, plus the 10 in the rings, and you add another 10, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, that's $140, plus another 40, $180, plus 20, $180, that's 200. I'd assume he has another watch on, either an AP, Rolex, Richard Mille. I mean, he comes out pretty much out of the house with like $1 million on, with the watch and all that. I mean, he spent a lot of money on his jewelry, and he gets a lot of custom things I've seen, like that he doesn't put on his Instagram. I don't know if they're his, but a lot of his chains are custom. He's got one that's like of him, a him face. It's literally him. The little charm has chains and everything on it of him. So yeah. All right, now we're looking at another chain. This is like a flat Cuban. So when you see these flat Cubans, the reason why these actually gained a lot of popularity was these are casted chains. They're handmade, but they're casted, right? So it's still good quality, still good everything. The problem is that a lot of jewelers were having problems getting their Cuban links made in a reasonable amount of time. So they'd probably be waiting a month or 2 months to have the Cuban link made, and then they'd still have to set the stones on them, and that would take them another 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, depending on their workload. So what they decided to do was they made an alteration and they made them flat. And obviously before that they were adding prongs to the Cuban link, so they were just soldering the prongs on top. But now if they say, let's just cast the whole thing, a caster will have it done quick. Because casters, they just set up the tree, have it casted, boom, and they're good to go. And then they mount the stones, they assemble the chain, mount the stones, And they can essentially have one of these chains done in half of the time that they make a handmade Cuban, and popularity has caught on to them, and it is what it is. It's still handmade, it's just casted. And also the lock is casted and all that, so it doesn't really matter. You can't make that lock by hand. But that chain, it's short, but it's big. You also got to keep in mind these chains are a little lighter. I would go with that chain since it looks like it's two-tone. About 100,000 on that chain. Yeah, and that's pretty much Anuel AA Real Hasta la Muerte jewelry collection. I know he's got a lot more. I've seen other videos of like him and a lot more stuff. He also has a chain on that's like completely custom. It's like Kobe. It's like Legends Never Die. I've seen that chain. He used to have it posted on his Instagram. It's like Legends Never Die. It's him. I think it's like Kobe holding the thing, but it's him. It's his face. And he's got like Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali on the chain, like in picture form. And that chain must have been really expensive. That chain was probably close to 350, 400,000, if I would have to assume. Anywhere from 350 to 500, depending on the quality of stones, because they are, I believe there's a lot of baguettes in there. And round is gonna be your cheapest stone, like because you buy that in bulk, no problem. But when you start getting to princess, baguettes, emerald cuts, it gets much more expensive. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. Thanks for watching.